He was one of the richest men in the world, but you've probably never heard of him. He didn't build empires. He sold them weapons. From royal palaces to secret CIA missions, Adnan Khashoggi was the man who made wars possible, for a price. This is the untold story of the billionaire who turned conflict into a business, and vanished into the shadows. The year is 1935. Mecca is quiet, spiritual, ancient. But deep within its sacred borders, a new force is rising. Saudi Arabia, under the rule of King Abdulaziz ibn Saud, has just begun to form alliances with the West. Adnan Khashoggi is born into this transformation. His father, Mohammed Khashoggi, is a Turkish Saudi doctor who becomes the personal physician to King Abdulaziz. This gives young Adnan a rare privilege. He grows up among royalty, listening to powerful men plan the future of oil, politics, and power. At 15, he's sent to study in Cairo, then to Chico State and Stanford in the US. There, he learns the two things that define his life. 1. The Western hunger for oil. 2. The Eastern hunger for influence. He doesn't finish college. He doesn't need to. He's already planning billion-dollar dreams. The 1950s and 60s are years of global transition. Europe is rebuilding after World War II. The Cold War is dividing the world. The Middle East is becoming the global gas station. Saudi Arabia has wealth beyond imagination, but it doesn't yet have military might. That's where Adnan Khashoggi steps in. In 1961, he strikes his first major deal, British-made trucks and radios for the Saudi military. It's small, but symbolic. He proves he can connect Western companies with the Saudi elite. By the end of the decade, he's brokering deals for helicopters, jets, tanks, first with Lockheed Martin, then Raytheon, Northrop, and even Israeli intermediaries. He doesn't build weapons. He doesn't fire bullets. He simply arranges the handshakes. And for that, he makes millions in commissions. By the early 1970s, Khashoggi is no longer just rich, he's a living legend. He becomes the face of global opulence. A yacht named Navila, worth over $100 million, later bought by Donald Trump and renamed the Trump Princess. A private DC-8 jet, fitted with a disco room, gold-trimmed bathrooms, and hand-woven Persian rugs. Villas in Marbella, palaces in Riyadh, penthouses in New York. He marries Sandra Daly, a British woman who converts to Islam and becomes Soraya Khashoggi. Their wedding is a royal affair. He hosts Hollywood actors, Arab princes, CIA operatives, arms dealers, and dictators at his legendary parties. But beneath the music, champagne, and cigars, he is building something darker, a global web of war money. The Cold War heats up. The US wants to control the Middle East to counter Soviet influence. Saudi Arabia wants to modernize, but only on its own terms. Israel and Iran, once quiet rivals, now become shadow partners. Khashoggi becomes a secret courier of weapons and money between all sides. He's trusted by the US State Department, the Saudi royal family, Israeli intelligence, and shady Latin American regimes. Everyone wants him because he can move money without a trace. He uses offshore banks, fake companies, and briefcases of cash. The CIA doesn't mind, as long as the job gets done. I am a businessman, Khashoggi says. I make connections. I sell solutions. Now comes the biggest scandal of his life, one that nearly destroys multiple US presidents. 1985. The Reagan administration wants to fund the Contras, rebel fighters battling a socialist government in Nicaragua. But Congress has banned funding. So the White House turns to secret channels. Meanwhile, Iran is desperate for weapons during the Iraq-Iran war. A plan forms. Sell weapons to Iran through back channels. Use that money to fund the Contras. Deny everything. The middleman who can make this work. Adnan Khashoggi. He sets up shell companies. He hires arms brokers. He moves millions through Swiss banks. The plan works, for a while. But soon, the media finds out. The Iran-Contra scandal explodes. In 1986, Khashoggi is arrested in Switzerland. He's accused of money laundering and wire fraud. But then something strange happens. He is not prosecuted in the US. Why? Because to try Khashoggi in court would mean exposing CIA operations, arms deals, and international secrets. Instead, he testifies, smiles, and walks away. He has too many secrets, too many allies, too many people in high places who owe him silence. Even after Iran-Contra, Adnan keeps dealing. He helps Imelda Marcos, the former First Lady of the Philippines, hide stolen money in Swiss vaults. He sells weapons to African warlords in Zaire, Sudan, and Sierra Leone, often in exchange for diamonds. He arranges arms for Libya, Iraq, and even North Korea, using intermediaries. Every time a journalist asks about morality, he laughs. Morality, he says. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman. But by the late 1990s, the world has changed. The Soviet Union is gone. 9/11 hasn't happened yet. And Khashoggi's usefulness is fading. His lifestyle collapses. He sells the yacht. He loses his New York apartment. His Marbella mansion is repossessed. His marriage ends. His friends disappear. His name is no longer respected. It's whispered. Once worth $4 billion, Khashoggi now borrows money to pay legal fees. He becomes a ghost of his former self. Still, he refuses to speak.
No confessions.
No memoir. No regrets. He knows too much. And that makes him both dangerous and untouchable. June 6, 2017. London. Adnan Khashoggi dies of Parkinson's complications at 81. The world barely notices. No trials.
No exposé.
No justice. But behind the silence are wars he helped start, governments he helped fund, and lives he helped ruin. Even in death, his influence lingers. His name is whispered in oil-rich halls, CIA files, and rebel archives. He was a man who never held a gun. But he sold more weapons than most armies. He never ran for office. But presidents listened when he spoke. He was the merchant of shadows. The man who turned war into profit. And vanished without a trace. Some men build nations. Some destroy them. Khashoggi did both, and made a fortune in the process. Thank you for watching. History remembers what we're allowed to know. But stories like this remind us of what's still hidden. If this story opened your eyes, helped you see power differently, or made you ask new questions, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bell turn on notifications so you never miss the truth they don't teach in school.
Comment Bilo?
Do you think Adnan Khashoggi was a criminal, or just a product of his time? Until next time, stay curious, stay critical.